Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Friday, June 26th, and we've got a full FIFA World Cup slate. I'm going to break down every match, talk through my official bets, give the reasoning behind each play, and then I'll answer questions in the chat if there are any. So before we get started, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop your favorite bet of the day in the chat. My official card for today is Norway versus France over 3.5 at plus 110 for 1 unit. Senegal win to nil at minus 115 for 1.2 units. Spain money line and over 1.5 goals at odds of minus 125 for 1.2 units. Cape Verde at a pick, odds of minus 112 for 1.1 units. Basically, Cape Verde draw no bet is what that is. And then Egypt versus Iran draw at odds of plus 165 for 0.6 units. And then we'll take New Zealand versus Belgium under 3.5 at odds of plus 110 for 0.9 units. Okay, let's get into it. First up, we're going to talk about Norway and France, and the reason why I like the over 3.5 here at plus 110 for a unit. This is not a safe, boring play. This is a plus money angle where I think the game state can get a bit wild. Both these teams have plenty of goal scoring ability, plenty of chances. I mean, we know the capability of France. We've seen them beat Senegal 3-1 and Iraq 3-0. And we've seen Norway win 4-1 and 3-2 in their two wins over Iraq and Senegal. So when I look at this matchup, I see two teams that can create chances, two teams with a lot of attacking talent, and a game where one goal will open everything up. The reason why I like the over 3.5 is because I'm getting paid for I'm getting paid for a little bit of a risky play at odds of plus 110. I like the odds there. I don't want to lay juice on a number where I might need 4 goals anyway. If I take the over 3, I don't think the over 3 is worth it. So I think this game gets to 3-1, 2-2, 4-1, something like that. And for that reasoning, I'll be taking Norway, France over 3.5 goals at odds of plus 110 for 1 unit. All right, next up, we'll move on to the Senegal versus Iraq game. And this is one of my more confident plays of the day. The bet is Senegal to win to nil at odds of minus 115 for 1.2 units. This is basically me saying Senegal are the better team and Iraq do not offer enough going forward for me to expect them to score. Iraq have really struggled defensively, and they have not shown enough attacking threat against better competition. They lost 4-1 to Norway. They lost 3-0 to France. They are conceding a lot of chances. They are not dangerous enough to consistently answer back. Senegal lost 3-1, and they lost 3-1 to France. They lost 3-2 to Norway, but they are still clearly the better side here. I expect them to have more of the ball. They have better athletes. They will have better chances, and they will definitely have more control of this game. I considered Senegal's spread options, but win to nil makes more sense because I think the biggest edge is Iraq's lack of attacking threat. Senegal do not necessarily need to win by 3 or 4. A 1-0 or 2-0 is perfectly fine here, and I think that Senegal win this game and record a shutout. So Senegal win to nil, odds of minus 115 for 1.2 units. Next up, we've got Uruguay and Spain. And we're going to take Spain money line and over 1.5 goals at odds of minus 125 for 1.2 units. This is one of my favorite structures on the board because I do not just want Spain money line at a heavy price. I want Spain to win, but I also want the game to have at least 2 goals. Spain were disappointing in the opening 0-0 draw against Cape Verde, but they bounced back in a huge way with a 4-0 win over Saudi Arabia. So to me, that showed the quality is still there. They can dominate possession, create chances, and when they get 1 goal, they can pile on pressure. Uruguay have not looked convincing to me at all, and I don't trust them against Spain here. Uruguay have 2 ties. They drew Saudi Arabia 1-1. They drew Cape Verde 2-2. That tells me Uruguay can be involved in the game with goals, but they have not shown enough control to make me want to back them against a team like Spain. The reason why I like Spain money line and over 1.5 is that it covers a lot of realistic Spain win outcomes. 2-0, 2-1, 3-0, 3-1. The only one that loses is 1-0, and I don't think that's very likely at all. Um, in fact, I think only like 5 out of the last 50 games for Spain have ended 1-0 wins for Spain. So I don't expect a 1-0 win for Spain. I think it's a higher scoring than that. I think Spain at least scored 2 themselves, most likely. So, all right, we'll move on here. Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. So here, I'm going to go with Cape Verde. Draw no bet or Cape Verde pick at odds of -112 for 1.1 units. This is a respect play on Cape Verde. They have been very solid in this tournament. They drew Spain. They drew Uruguay. Those are both extremely impressive results. They've already shown they can compete with strong teams and not get overwhelmed. Saudi Arabia got destroyed by Spain 4-0, and they did get a draw against Uruguay, but I still think Cape Verde are the more trustworthy side right now. The reason I like the pick instead of the money line is I want protection just in case this game ends up being a draw. Cape Verde do not need to win this game for us to avoid losing if we take the Cape Verde pick. If the match ends in a draw, we push. And in a game that could be tight, I think that matters a lot. I think Cape Verde are more organized, more difficult to break down, and they have shown more against really quality opponents. So I'm taking Cape Verde pick, odds of -112 for 1.1 unit. Okay, next up, we've got Egypt and Iran. This is a really good game, one of the better games of the day. I'm going to take the draw here, odds of +165 for 0.6 units. This is the type of match where I do not feel comfortable laying a price on either side. I think these teams are very, very close in terms of quality. And I think that the situation here points towards a very tight result. Egypt drew Belgium 1-1, and they beat New Zealand 3-1. Iran drew New Zealand 2-2 and drew Belgium 0-0. Both teams have already shown they can stay competitive in this group. What stands out to me is that both teams can be satisfied depending on the table situation, and neither side needs to play recklessly from the first minute. That makes the draw very live. At +165, I do not need this to hit every time. I just need it to be more likely than the market implies. I think 0-0, 1-1, and even 2-2 are all realistic outcomes. And yeah, I mean, when you look at this game, Egypt, a draw gets them to 5 points. A draw for Iran gets them to 3 points. Most likely a draw gets both of them through to the next round. I'm sorry that I didn't go over those situations in the other games. Norway and France are both already through to the next round. They're battling basically to see who will win that group, I believe. And then Senegal and Iraq, they're both already eliminated. So that game doesn't really mean much. Uruguay and Spain is very important. Uruguay have to win the game, I believe. Uruguay are going to have to win that game. And maybe if Uruguay, if Uruguay got a tie, they actually have a good chance. Uruguay can't lose that game. They definitely cannot lose. If Uruguay loses that game, they will be eliminated pretty much certainly. Spain, they've already won the group. Oh, no, they have not already won the group. No, Spain have 4 points. So Spain actually so both teams have to win this game in Uruguay and Spain. So that's very interesting. And then Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. Cape Verde have 2 points. Saudi Arabia have 1 point. So both teams, Cape Verde just need a tie, whereas Saudi Arabia probably need a win in that game. And then Egypt, Iran, both teams probably just like Egypt, if they win, they could still win the group. If Iran, technically both could still win the group. Both teams are probably going to be trying to win this game, but I just look, a draw is also good for both sides. That's the thing. So both teams will try to win it, but at the end of the day, a draw is good for both sides too. A draw probably gets both of them through to the next round. All right. Sorry, I should have gone over all those situational things during the picks, but kind of slipped my mind. All right. Anyways, New Zealand and Belgium, the final play for us on the board. My play is the under 3.5 at odds of +110 for 0.9 units. This is one where I know there is a scary angle against my play. Belgium need goals. Belgium need to win by a margin. New Zealand probably will have to chase at some point in this game. So yes, the over case, I understand it. It's pretty obvious. But I still think the market is overreacting a bit. Belgium have not been high flying at all so far in this tournament offensively. They drew Egypt 1-1 and drew Iran 0-0. So even if they need goals, needing goals and actually creating 4+ total goals are not the same thing. Now, I understand that they had a red card against Iran, but I mean, they haven't been finishing their chances, and getting this game to 4 goals for me just seems a bit too much. New Zealand have been competitive enough to make this a little uncomfortable for Belgium. They drew Iran 2-2 and lost 3-1 to Egypt. Belgium, I expect to win this game. Probably 2-0 or 3-0, and both of those cash the under 3.5. The concern is a 4-0 or a 3-1 type of game, but at +110, I think the number gives us enough value. So give me the New Zealand Belgium under 3.5 goals at +110 for 0.9 units. So once again, guys, just going to recap the picks. You're going to take Norway versus France over 3.5 goals at odds of +110. Both teams still, trying to win the group. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top there. Senegal win to 0 over Iraq. I just don't think Iraq are anywhere near the level of Senegal. We're going to take Spain money line and over 1.5 total goals at odds of -125 for 1.2 units. I think that Spain are the better team. Spain have to win the game to lock up the group. And there have only been 5 1-0 Spain wins in their last 50 games. So that result is pretty unlikely. Next up, we're going to take Cape Verde pick, or Cape Verde draw no bet is also how it's labeled, at odds of -112 for 1.1 units. I think Saudi Arabia, I don't believe in Saudi Arabia. I can't trust them due to their recent form. I'd rather trust Cape Verde, who have shown me they can hang with the tough teams, and Cape Verde will be happy with the tie here. So we have that insurance, the push protection there with the pick price. So we'll go ahead and take that. And then we'll move on to this one, Egypt versus Iran, the draw at +165 for 0.6 units. Yeah, I think that, both teams will be happy with a draw. Both teams will obviously want to win the game, but a draw isn't bad for both sides either. A draw gets both teams through to the next round. So, and also I think there are 2 very, very equal teams, 2 teams that there's not much separating them in terms of talent. And then last but not least, we've got New Zealand and Belgium under 3.5 total goals at odds of +110 for 0.9 units. And again, I think that the market's overreacting to the situational aspect of this game. I understand that Belgium need to win by margin, and New Zealand will likely have to chase. So it's going to probably make a pretty open game. But Belgium have not finished any chances in this tournament. They only have 1 goal through 2 games. And I do expect Belgium to control this game in terms of possession. So if Belgium aren't finishing their chances, this game will stay 0-0 for quite a while. So those are the plays. Make sure to drop your best bet in the chat. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And then like the stream, please. Subscribe. And let me know in the chat what your favorite play for today is. Do you agree with my plays, or are you on the other side of any of these? I like the balance of this slate. We have 1+ money over. We have 1 1-0 over, 1 win to 0 angle. We have 1 favorite combination of a parlay. We have 1 pick side with protection. We have a draw, and we have a plus money under. So we've got a lot of balance on this card. Please hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe if you are new, and I'll be back again with more FIFA World Cup and MLB betting content. Good luck today, and let's cash, guys.